Welcome to a new feature release by us at Zenler. So this new feature release is one-to-one bookings. So you asked for it and we have delivered it to you. So this was a major request from you guys. So we have now brought this into the platform and you can now use it. So within this, you can run free or paid one-to-one live coaching sessions without needing tools like Calendly or Zoom. Publish your booking schedule on the calendar for anyone to book one-to-one sessions with you. You can even share a direct link so that people can jump straight into your one-to-one sessions. So it has all the features of a live interactive webinar as well. So I'm about to just jump in there and just show you the features and what you can actually do with the one-to-one booking inside of Zenler. So let's jump into the platform now and see what it's all about. All right, so here it is. So you need to go into your admin dashboard, go to live, and you're going to see this new feature, one-to-one bookings. So let's jump in there. Also, just before I leave here, just look down at the calendar. You can see there's now a new option for one-to-one bookings. So any one-to-one bookings that you put will actually go into your calendar as well, where people can book through there. And you notice also with the calendar that your time zone that you set here, it actually shows the actual time zone of the person wherever they are in the world as well. So when they go on the calendar, they'll see it in their time zone, which is a really cool thing that you don't immediately see from this dashboard. So that is inside the calendar anyway. So let's jump into one-to-one bookings and let's set up our first booking. So create one-to-one booking. Let's click create and we're going to jump straight into here, and it's all going to look pretty familiar to you. Except there's going to be a few little changes when we start to add stuff in here. So obviously you can upload your course card into there as well, so your one-to-one booking, and we can go in here. And by the way, you can also clone these as well. So that is the feature that we've got throughout our system, and you can still clone everything as well. So let's go in here and put the topic of this. There we go. So we can set up reoccurring instances of this. So if you want to, you can do a reoccurring. So if you have that set, you can set that in there. We do have reoccurring in this. We also have multiple schedules. So again, you can use multiple schedules to schedule more than one of this particular one-to-one booking. The same with recurring, and of course you have a single session. So we're going to use a single session. If you want to know more about multiples and reoccurring, we have that inside our new features and our support docs as well. So I'm going to go in here and just set this up as a booking. So I'm going to set it for this Saturday. I'm going to set it for 10 AM, and I'm obviously going to select my time zone as well. So I'm going to go in here and just select my time zone. You need to make sure you do that, and you can put in the maximum number of registered in here. So number of registered session in case of a single session. So for instance, if you have a booking session maybe for a couple and they're in different places, then you could put 2 in there. So you can use that to put registrants in there, and I think the maximum number is based on your pricing plan as well, 300 or 500 depending on which plan you've got. You can set the duration. Now the duration of one-to-one bookings is, as usual, you can do a normal session for 15 minutes up to 1.5 hours, extended 1:45 to 2 hours, and super extended from 2 hours 15 right the way up to 4 hours. So big sessions, same as everything else we do. You can make the one-to-one booking secret. So if you do not want it to show on the calendar, you can click here and just send people the register link or the direct link if you wanted to. Again, you can also ask for a password when joining as well. So it's already got inbuilt password protection in there anyway. So with that done, we now click next. So let's click next, and we can choose one of these templates in here. So I'm going to choose this one here, and I'm going to click finish to that. Now what Zenler will do now is create all the pages for us, and it will set up a few additional things that I'm going to show you. So just like every live that we have inside here, you can set these pages up, the exception being live stream. So you can go and use the page editor. I'm going to leave everything as it is default. Also notice we still have a replay page in there as well if you want to send a replay link out. Now we do have pricing, which is really important for one-to-one bookings. All the automations work the same as any other automation that you've used for any of the lives. You can see your registered user, and you still have access to the cloud recorded files if you select cloud recording when you start that live session up. Really good for replays and downloading, or of course you can record locally as normal. So now we've got this set up in here. I haven't touched any of the pages. Generally you would go through and just make it your own. So I'm not going to touch the pages, I'm going to leave it all default. And inside of pricing here, we can set this up. So we have inside here, add new pricing plan. So let's just go and add a new pricing plan for this. Let's say for this particular session, I'm going to choose £120 for this half an hour session. And I'm going to go consultation. In there, and of course buy now. I'll just put join me. Okay, bit softer. Okay, so we've got our tax categories as usual. I'm going to go tax exempt, and we can make this the most popular plan, so we can add multiple pricing if we wanted to as well inside here. Of course you can add a description, you can add bullet points, and you can also set availability as well, so the availability that pricing plan will be in place. So if I set it for tomorrow, it would only activate tomorrow. You wouldn't be able to book it before. And if I set it for 3 days time, then after 3 days time the enrollment close and you wouldn't be able to use that pricing plan. So that's what set availability does for you. So other than that, it's pretty much the same. Now we click add. So that's been set up properly. Now I want to bring you back to the booking details because there's a few things that are going to appear in here that are a little bit extra. So once you've created your pages it will create this area here. So it will give you the registration URL. This is where you send people. We're going to look at that in a second, where you send people to register. And there's a caveat with that as well, which I need to tell you. And we also have the invite link as well. So this invite link will mean that people do not have to register in any shape or form. They can just join straight from this link. So this is really good for sending out a link ahead of time. You can set, of course, your maximum registrations, and we've been through the rest of this, but these two areas are the two things that have been added in there: registration URL and the invite link. If we mouse over the little question mark here, it says share this direct link and anyone can join the live session without needing to register. So we'll have a look at both of these and see how it looks in the system itself. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to the register URL, and I'm going to copy that URL, and we're going to test this in a new incognito window in Chrome. So I'm going to flick this up, and this is what we're going to get. So it's going to tell me the date. Now if I set multiple schedules up, I could pick them. It's going to tell me the time there, and obviously reconfirmation of that, and book now. And what you're going to see is you're going to get your pricing come up. So you can then go through this, add your pricing, and you'll be added. Remember, the automations will then fire from that point, the same as any other. You can also see your pricing down there, so you could also click that button there. Of course, you can customize these if you go into the pages as well, because you'll notice that inside the pages themselves we have a checkout page in there as well, because we've added a pricing plan. Okay, so you can edit that in there. So let's have a look at the direct link now. So I haven't got Zoom started at the moment, but I'm going to just show you what you see. And we haven't started the session because it's set for tomorrow. But if I go in here and go to new incognito window and hit this, then what will happen is you'll just go straight through to the waiting room. So when this gets to 0, you'll just better go in and join straight away. So you can bypass the payment and all those things from there, which makes it really easy. So I want to just talk about one caveat with this, because you can set this as free as well. You know, if you haven't got a pricing plan, then it would be free. So there is a direct invite link option. to the room to send to anyone who wants to hop on without needing to register. So the only caveat for now for the free one-to-ones is that from register page, now only those logged into the site can book, but we also public booking for the registered page option for free. So if you're in there, if you're actually logged into the system and it's free, you can just click that book and then you're going to go straight through. But if you're not logged into the system with a free one, you've got to register for it. Yeah, so that's the only caveat with that thing. If you're charging for it, then obviously they're going to go through that payment process, then your automations are going to kick in and then they'll get an email to join that session. Okay, so for you guys, for a booking point of view, this is just magic. Okay, and I love the direct invite link as well, because that could be good. So, you know, you might decide to take people through the payment details and then someone else might be joining them. They might have paid and someone's joining them as well, and you can give them the direct link to jump in. They haven't got to register. It saves all that hassle. So I know a lot of you wanted to have a link that you could send out ahead of time that people could just jump in. Maybe you're using a different payment gateway and you've taken payment from them manually or through Thrivecart or something, and you want to send people in, and you've got that direct link you can send out so they can just jump in, which is perfect. So always you're trying to get people to give their email address and name. Obviously that's the best policy, but you have that option now of being able to do that, which you never had before. So we've booked this now. Let's just check back on the calendar, and you're going to see now in the calendar that we have it inside there. So you can see that that booking is in there, and if you click that, you can see that because I'm logged in, I've got that in there like that. What I'll do is I'll drop it into an unpublished page to see what happens when we actually click on it as someone not logged into the system. So I'll just do that now. I'll just set the page up and drop that calendar block in there, and we'll see what someone who's not logged in will see as far as that booking's concerned. So I'm just going to set up a little test page. Let's call this one-to-one booking. Keep it all the same, and we're going to go in here, and I'm just going to do it as a blank page, registered for all, blank page. I'm going to click add. So now inside here, I'm going to drop in our calendar block, and then we're just going to preview this in incognito to see what people would see if they were coming into the system, or if they were just viewing the system rather than logged in. If they're logged in, they can just book it. They pay for it and book it. So let's go into blocks. Let's go down to our live calendar. Let's grab that block and drag it across. Remember, Zenler is true drag and drop as well. So we're going to save that, and now I'm going to preview that page. Obviously you do your SEO. So we would go and preview this page now. So save and preview, and we're going to see where that block is. So I'm going to go into incognito now because we are actually in preview mode there. So let's take this into incognito so we are not logged in or anything else. Let's jump into here, paste that URL. Here's our page. So this is what someone who's never been to your site will see, and they'll click inside here, and you can see integrate new feature Saturday, and you click register. So obviously they go in here and it diverts to that page, book now, they pay their 120 and they get into the system, and that's it. As simple as that. So this is the new one-to-one booking. We are super excited to have got this out to you. We've got this in because we know there was a lot of requests for this, and you know we're trying to make the live section of the site the best it can be. We're still working on things as well, but this is the one-to-one booking that you guys have asked for. Enjoy.